Welcome back, fellow Wormtail Generals. This is Gamer1745 here. And this series has always been described as taking a look at the current state of Black Ice. Now, they have released another standard version, because there's both sort of a standard and then there's a work-in-progress version if you're willing to have an update every 2 or 3 weeks. And maybe sometimes even faster than that to your game. Because I've only been playing this on the weekends for the live audience, I am playing it a lot slower than most people play their game. So I was, again, thank you, whoever it was over on the Discord server for Black Ice, put out a notification / reminder that we wanted to keep our save games. We needed to make a sort of local install, local version of the mod at its current stage, and I did that. So, yay, we're continuing this game. But it's always been a look at, and as well as a learning Black Ice as well. As it's changed, there's a lot to learn with Black Ice. If you're looking for a game that you can, you know, get in fast, go do and play well, this ain't Black Ice. The first few times you've got to, and I say a few times, you've got to really sort of learn what you're doing. I hope, although these have been sort of a more of an experimental view, where if you look at some of my stuff for Hearts of Iron 3 Black Ice, those series that are currently out there, I would say it's from an expert player's viewpoint, especially for Germany. So not a know-it-all or perfect player, but from one of the more expert players, because I've played it so much. But so I've been learning a lot, and this is the first, you know, it's been out for a long time, I know, because I played a bunch of different mods between Rage Quit and various other things. Hadn't gotten very deep, and this is the first game that I've really gotten deep to where this has become meaningful, the supply system. And I'm so glad they've finally done this. So glad they've finally done this. Now, I have been informed, and we've only done a very limited work on these, that these are probably a waste. Now, if you watched, I believe it's the last episode, and towards the end of the last episode, again, I learned, and so, oh, these aren't, oh, I think we did it after the save. Or, yes, I think we did it after the save as an experiment. So what, okay, a few things. So, these guys, and the whole reason I have not, and again, how can I say it? I love that they've now implemented the current supply system. It is not perfect. We still don't have supplies. We have supply effects. We don't have actual supplies like being manufactured and delivered. So there is, it's still not perfect, but damn, this is now, in my opinion, better, entirely better than the whole supply system in Hearts of Iron 3. Okay. So where it is a physical thing that you need to manufacture, needs to be transported, but because of the transportation problems, because of all of that, there are some horrific problems. I really wish, you know, what would make Hearts of Iron 3 supply system without maybe a major change in it as well, if you could create a better AI for handling the supply, but two, if I could write my own supply orders, manually go in and say, I want to have delivered to this province here X amount of supplies, you know, and I know it's going to be delivered from Berlin, so how far away is it going to take, you know, but that I could manually do that. Now, I know 95% of players wouldn't want to handle that. I get that. That's why it's not in the game. I'll get to the chats in just a minute. Because I think this is important. But now with this, we now have good supply setups. And so I've been doing a few things wrong here. I have not motorization level. We're just going to go to motorization level 1 and see how that affects things. we're going to come over here where we are also having a bit of a supply issue. Oh, this has already been motorized. Good. And we can see here, and these, I believe, are the primary, maybe not exclusive. I'm not sure if it's exclusive, but the, I think it's these transport trucks as opposed to, or no, I think it's the heavy, I think it's the heavy transport trucks. That's what I think that is. So it's not the other transport trucks. So that is one of the things that, like I say, I'm learning. Another thing, boy, I forget who, I should look these things up before there, and I will get to the chat in a minute. These are probably not worth it. Now, the reason I was going in and building these is because I didn't see what else to do. And again, I've learned. And I don't know what the new current state, and because they can go in and change all these values in Black Ice. The new current state was, but I have been suggested that we come here, and, well, let's come up this way, and, no, not Naval Dockyard. Here, Naval Base. We build one here. That has been suggested to me. Let's move it to the top. And then I want to also come over here, and I do know that there's a clip. Oh, well, okay, well, no, it's from here. Okay, no, never mind. I want to come from here, I guess. I want to go from here to... No. There we go. To also put them on a railway link. Okay, let's see. Now we get... Okay, so... Here we go. This is actual proof, in my opinion. You know, everything's my opinion, but I think this is factual. This is an actual proof that these supply bases that are going to, you know, they've done a little bit of work right now on them, will be completed in November 1942, and it's February 42. This port will be completed in April 30th, 1942. I have been informed, and again, I may be wrong, I'm still learning everything here, this turns into a supply base. So how the fuck should building a port, which creates a supply base, should be quicker than building a supply base? Can someone please explain the logic of that to me? Where, even let's forget that this is a port that gets iced over and could be hard. But even if we're talking about the easiest possible place to build a port, a naval base. And yeah, I know, you know, the Americans eventually, you know, the Americans were the superpower in World War II. Changed my mind, but, you know, they came up with, you know, floating harbor capabilities. Nobody else on the planet had the practical ability to build those floating harbors. You know, technologically, the Germans could have figured it out. I mean, I don't think they spent any time to try to. The British, yeah, they could have figured it out too, and they may have materially contributed to the thoughts of building the supply bases, you know, the multiple ports. I don't know, because I know the what is it, the Halbucky or whatever, the idea that's sort of crazy, but to build ice aircraft carriers, in that with using pykrete, which is ice or water mixed with sawdust and then frozen, that creates a very, very hard material. You'd have to keep it frozen at all times, but and just sort of more of a big floating aircraft carrier, you know, for covering the mid-Atlantic gap, as opposed to like a fleet carrier. But yeah, the British aren't stupid. I'm sure even the Japanese could have figured it out. Maybe even the Italians could have figured out how to do it. But to industrially, practically do it in amongst a war, there was nobody else capable of doing it at that time. You know, the floating ports. So this tells me, and the reason for, I mean, what is a port? You know, we can discuss all that and how long should it take to be built. So you should be able to build a supply base at least the same amount of time it takes to build a port. I cannot imagine, and yeah, I can't imagine how that is not a thing. That you could argue that these things should take, you know, 9 months to build, and you can build a port, and which becomes a supply base. Let's check out the chat now after that. Okay, yep, upgrade coming, a lot of self-propelled artilleries. 109 for most nations. Well, Felipe, I really, quite honestly, only really care if it's World War II stuff. I did see the update coming for War Thunder. It looks like a lot of modern stuff, which is cool, and I don't hate it, and I play it once in a while, but I really don't care unless it's World War II. And I do care a little bit if they shove it into the BRs of the World War II, if it shouldn't be there. No, America is falling apart just fine. Sing, we'll devolve here pretty quickly. And greetings, Toyjet. Good to have you here. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Felipe. I don't know if Sing is going to answer that on Indian street food. Interesting question. No, Singh is in the restaurant business, so if he's still around, he would be the person to ask, and I would be interested to hear that. Yeah, now attacks are based on capturing railways and supply hubs, and one has to be aware of them and where they are on the map. Absolutely, and I totally agreed with Podcasts answering, hey, we have infrastructure that equates to railroads here, and in most of Western Europe. And these are, actually, there's a lot denser rail. I mean, you know, I'm sure if you captured here, there's still a railway links here and here. And you could bomb the bridges out. That's maybe the one thing that we don't have in this game here now with the railways is the ability to bomb major bridges. But, and possibly cut down or cut off supply or reduce supply coming across. But getting out into the Soviet Union, getting into North Africa, getting into the wilds, getting into China, wherever, building railways. Now, I would definitely, upgrading railways to me would be a lot easier than building new ones. So, okay, good. So we've now figured out a little bit better for here. Probably so I don't say too loud, or BICE will make it longer to build ports, lol. Well, they might. Now, okay, so the game question comes down to, and that's very good, Frog Guys. You know, that they just simply change it. You used to, in Hearts of Iron 3, and I think that's been changed with Black Ice, but you used to be able to build things like radars and ports and whatnot in your production queue, because they did not have a construction queue and a like vehicle production queue. It was just the production queue, and then have them in sort of undeployed, and then you could do a naval invasion and then slam down your port. And for the Americans, again, that's realistic, and I also sort of would kind of say it was realistic for just about everybody with radars. Now, because most of the building time is not constructing of the the radar, say, at the location. It's building it out of the factories. And for then there was definitely a lead time, but it was also it was also just simply construction priority bits and whatnot. And the main thing that I think it was with Panzeroo, but I'm not sure. It could have been anybody back in those days. Their main argument, well, yeah, you're right, gamer, but the AI won't do that. The AI won't, whether, because I kind of agreed with the lack of mobile ports, except for America. And America, quite honestly, really only did that for the D-Day thing. I mean, they could have done more. I mean, trust me. Now, it might have meant less something else, meaning a choice to be made. But they really could have done more. They just didn't need to do more. So they hadn't done more. But they couldn't, in a practical sense, spam them out everywhere. And trust me, we can look at some of the photos down here. Now, Guadalcanal, I know the guy was really proud at making some of these islands big. These islands are small. It should not be anything this big. They're trying to make too much of a tactical operation out of what here is. But I've seen, one or two photos of the Americans landing supplies here to fight in Guadalcanal, so as to sort of in the sense of not needing to hold the naval base to supply your forces. And I think to a point that sort of work. The problem with that here now is it's turned into a tactical game with too many provinces. I mean, literally, it should be one province. Guadalcanal is not this big, not at all, and it just has more of a famous name than it's a such great strategic point or anything, because any of these other points, it was fighting over an airbase that was being built, was a major element of it, because there, other than the airbase, there's absolutely no reason to hold Guadalcanal, because there is not a significant port on it. Now, they could have built a port, but how long would have that taken, to actually be a proper naval port to run supplies through? Now, again, to give a variance, the Americans were coming up and landing supplies to the beach. So a ship would come from Australia, because I know that's where they would come from. They come from Australia. They would get to the coast, and then they would use the cargo net kind of method and lower supplies down into landing craft. And landing craft would come up onto the beach, open the doors, and then people would haul the stuff off. But we did have some trucks running around. Not many, not a lot, because there wasn't a lot of roads to go very far, but a few trucks here and there is really helpful. Now, the Japanese at first were sort of kind of doing something like that. But because the Americans, I don't think the Japanese were ever able to operate aircraft off of the Guadalcanal Air Base. They did operate aircraft off of some of the other locations, but they lost the air war pretty quickly. So what they would do, and so they could not safely in any sort of way bring a ship in here and unload it. There was no practical way they could do it. So what they would do is they'd come down at night with destroyers, and because they were fast and quick, and come into near shore. And then for men, they would lower some boats. If they're sending in, reinforcements, they would lower some, ship's boats and get them ashore in darkness and then get out. For supplies, what they would do is simply throw the supplies over the side. Now, they made sure they would unload the crates partially. They would unload they would put barrels, metal barrels and other things, whether it was going to be liquid or whether it was going to be, like food or something in, not fully load them or load them too much so that they would float. They would just literally just throw the supplies over the side at night, And generally speaking, the way the tide slash current, I'm not sure whether it was so much tide or current or both, would happen, it would be that it would generally float ashore, and then, but not ashore, just sort of generally get to there and be out sort of like in the surf or beyond the surf. And so the Japanese soldiers, basically in daylight, would go out there and try to get as much of the supplies up onto the beach and then under the cover, because they would be air attacked a bit. Um, it's one thing, and it's worth a lot to go air attack a ship. If you just got soldiers spread out all over the place and some floating cargo out over the place, yeah, you may fly over it and strafe it a few times and whatnot, but it takes a lot. They're only getting so much fuel, they're only getting so much ammunition and whatnot ashore, and it's probably better to have those aircraft shooting down enemy aircraft than trying to strafe some random guys out on the beach. Now, if there was, like, again, a ship that you could actually sink, that would be worthy of the effort. So you can see the Americans really, I mean, I don't want to downplay and it's growing as time goes on, but the American fighting prowess as well as the American skills. We can see in the Pacific campaign from the start the willingness of the Americans to fight to the death. And they do so in places. Now, these are, in some of these cases, particularly Wake Island. I think this is Midway. Here's Wake. In Wake Island, it was, yes, they did capture some of the soldiers, but for the most part, they would fight to the death or until ammunition ran out, quite honestly. And so they would not bonsai charge or fight, stupidly, in the sense of, make suicide charges against enemy positions. And this is why they give up on the Bataan Peninsulas, is basically they've run out of ammunition. So once they run out of ammunition, they surrender that, and they surrender Corregidor, and I think maybe a little bit later, finally, the maybe it was, I don't know if it was before or after Corregidor, the concrete battleship that's still out in the harbor out there. Fort Drum, that's it, Fort Drum, and it literally a sort of battleship that's made out of concrete. Well, there's like a rock island that they pour a bunch of concrete on. So we can see that if you're going to make port, if you land a few divisions here, and you're going to be able to starve them out of supply simply by not capturing a port, you need to have the ability to build a port, okay, or here or wherever. And it shouldn't be something that takes 6 months to a year. Now, it might not be able, should be in most cases a drop down flash mob port, but you should be able to build a port that would be able to support a corps or two of soldiers in fighting, where Guadalcanal is more like a division kind of thing, I believe. It wasn't that huge of an operation. So you've got to be able to build a port relatively quickly if you want to simulate World War II historically at all. So yeah, that's that. Probably overlooks it. Yes, good morning, Beam Slam. That is here. It's morning. I know it's not for you, but okay. Well, that's sort of my talk on what we're doing for that. So what I think, let's see. Yeah, I think with both of these, because we're going to try to we're going to stop both of these. This may be a mistake for both of them. The interior one might have been eventually useful. Let's move these to the top as well. Then back up to the top just to make sure it's up there. And so priority building on that. Okay, so we're going to see how much we can get supplies out to some of these units now that we have motorized the supply situation. Okay. Into there. These guys are still attacking. Okay, most of them are in pretty bad shape, so you stop attacking. It is winter. Now I really want to get this province so we can link up supply here. We're gonna move you guys. No, we're gonna move you down here. I'm just seeing the red lack of supply here. Oh boy, let's go back to supply hub. I think here we're also going to experiment with going to trucks. I think that's the main one. Because we can get this supply hub up here, we will be doing much better. And get it, we have it obviously, but get it linked up via rails. So these guys are all defending here, hopefully fairly well. You guys attack to the south. Antibiotics. Railway construction speed plus 4%. Supply range up 3%. I like that supply range up, so let's do this as our next research. Now, that province there looks like a good one to maybe. Well, these guys are all attacking there. Maybe that. Not with that. But, right. Okay. Yeah, I think we will. You support the attack. So these guys are now effectively supplying a bit more. These guys are supplying more. Don't know if more internal one. Don't know why Novgorod is not a supply source. Supply capability. It's a fairly decent town, I believe, or city. Okay, Brazil. Oh boy. We're in trouble now. Felipe, Brazil has declared war on us. Oh, let's create a core for you. Well, he may still be around. Don't see him. Let's see. There's good old Seth. I think he may be still commanding the HQ here. Yeah, so where, okay. No, I don't want you to go there. There we go. Join armies, won't have divisions, will be automatic. Okay, I don't want to remove you. What the fuck did I just do? Thought I got you. Okay, now. No, I want this. Oh, this guy. Okay. Oh, unassigned. Yes. Now, here. What the? So the axis on the offensive on most of the Eastern Front midwinter seems supply lines are pretty good. Well, it varies from place to place. But, oh, pause. Oh, you don't go anywhere. I'm right now pissed. I don't know what I did to make this all happen here. But I'm right now very pissed by it. I don't know if this is just my fault or this UI is kooky that I clicked something that decided to make everybody go everywhere else. I didn't want that. Okay. No, I didn't want that. Yeah. Where's Mr. Death Camp? Well, several Mr. Death Camps here, but did I not have him? Den Huber. Use him. This is, I think, where I want. So I think this is Fergus Trooper. No, just not. Because these pictures are, oh, these pictures are so bad. Okay. Now, where is it? Here it is. You joined. There you go. Yes, I guess we'll keep pullets on. Yeah, well, you see, you got to look here, and this is what is really sort of interesting. Well, with the supplies, these guys are starving for lack of supplies. You see, they're all red. They're literally starving for lack of supplies up here. We can see here that this supply source is trying to supply 53 with just it all has 40. And you can see out here these guys are doing pretty bad here. But yes, get back into here. We're fully in supply, so we're actually doing pretty good. And then out here, supply situation is pretty bad. Now, one thing to note, Bean Slam. Well, no, we want to come here. I did this National Focus prepare for long winter as opposed to kick in the door. So this lowered my stability, but winter attrition is much less than it would be otherwise. So it's helped that a bit. So keep that in note for if you're thinking that, oh, hey, they're doing better than they would historically, something's wrong. Well, we made other choices. And I've definitely I know talked last weekend about it, that space stability reduced. I don't know why that reduced. I mean, I'm already having stability issues enough. Okay, we are on 42, so let's... Speed, naval base construction speed, that's all pretty good. Okay, so we'll do that. And hello, Arno. No, I started at the normal time. Did you guys change your clocks last week or something? In Europe? I started at 8 a.m. as normal. Okay, we are increasing our factories, and because of supply concerns, I'm looking for my trains. Trains must be up from here, from my engines. Ah, according to my clock, you're 44 minutes late. Oh, did I put it? I think I put it in at 8 a.m. I don't know. I don't know. So we're here. We got says 7 people watching over on Rumble. Hi guys on Rumble, and it says nobody viewing over, even though I'm viewing it back, but nobody viewing over on that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I just did something last night wrong in setting up the time it was going to start. Yeah, I know it doesn't really matter at all, but okay. So we are. Okay, we've got him to here now. So what I want to do, and I got to get that railway built. These guys and these guys are going to... No. Oh, they have to go there. They can't. Okay, no. Well, then you guys stop your attack. Stop. But we can get attacked from that. I thought I could get across there. Can't. Gotta go around. Getting that supply done. That's now focusing 9 and 8. Maybe I should have kept this going here. What are my current heavy trucks like? As in numbers. Okay, we still, I think, have... So, here. We're going to go to truck supply to try to supply that up a bit better. Oh, what's more important is you're here, Arno. That's what's important. Okay, so we can still see these are all red and taking heavy attrition losses. I'm doing this in stages again to sort of learn. So I do know that we can go to more trucks. More trucks. Let's try more trucks. See if that will increase. Oh! We just saw that it take effect. That all went to supply here. So 18, 20. Okay, so now we're gonna give this a little bit of time. Okay, well, we're gonna still give this a little bit of time to get our organization up before we renew our offensive. So we've gone from starving, literally, to that. Yes, Arno is now over on YouTube. And so I am learning this game here, and you're watching me learn. Okay, now here we are. Nope, you're not there yet. These guys are barely surviving. Here, we're just going to see about going to level 1. See if that will help out here enough. Yes, it did. Okay. And we have a free port, or free industrial capability of just 1 here. Well, we got quite a few convoys, so I'm not that worried. Order a battle and find it slightly better than Panzer Corps 2 in some aspects. Another story. It's 50 to 60. Oh, hey, yeah. Well, if it's on sale now, Order of Battle is great. I have all but one of the DLCs. And everybody watching out there, disclaimer, I am a paid shill for Slytherin and Matrix. So just so you know that, I am a paid shill for them. I'm talking literally. Though I'm not being paid right now by them. They pay for when I'm on their channel. But so that aside, Order of Battle, if you can get it for some of the consoles, or I don't know which ones. I don't play consoles, so I don't keep that in my head. But if you do consoles, you can get Order of Battle for consoles. But Order of Battle, the base sort of game, training scenarios or whatever, is free, and the first scenario, I believe it is, for all of the DLCs is free. So if you want to try it out to see if you like it, go for it on Order of Battle. So please check that out. It is a good game. Right now, between Panzer Corps 1 and Order of Battle, they're very, very similar. There are some aspects I think are better with Order of Battle. Some aspects I think are better with Panzer Corps. Panzer Corps 2, I think, and I'm going to disagree. Now, if you talk slightly better in some aspects, yes. In a few aspects, even Panzer Corps 2, it may be. But overall, I think Panzer Corps 2 is a better game. But Panzer Corps at this time is only a German playable side focus. They were working on until there were some other problems. Won't go into those because I'm not really sure exactly what to say about them as being what the exact truth is. I don't know, so I'm not going to go there if you want to try to figure it. You look it up, you can, but they were sort of working on an Allied side version of it, but that got put on hold. So Panzer Corps. So if you want to play from the Ally side, you can really only do it with Order of Battle in that sort of scape of things. So yes, I recommend it quite well. Okay, we're getting back organization with our supply, and then we're going to try to bust into things. Okay, looks like we're doing okay-ish here. And if it's on 50 to 60% on sale on Steam, it's a great time to get it. Before they get too much in the way of units coming in here. Let's hit them. We may not need to continue building that fort. Yes, there is Pacific campaign in Order of Battle, again from both sides. Like you can play the Pearl Harbor either as the attacking from Japan, or you can play it, and they have two different scenarios, not just the same scenario. It's a different scenario. It's a different sort of goals and objectives, or you can play it from the American or Japan, and that's for a lot of things, including Burma. They even have early Soviet versus Japanese, the Kalk and Gall scenarios there. So they've got a lot of stuff. If you if you like that sort of hex space, look, I like Axis and Allies. I like War in the East too, and things in between. So it's not like if you want the most detailed, the most sort of historically realistic kind of game. Well, Cairo Conference, Panzer IV ain't it. But if you're looking for now, this is just a spoiling attack, so we're hitting there. We know we're not going to win. Trying to deny reinforcements coming to here. Now it looks like looks like they're heading south with their reinforcements. But there's okay. Well, now that we have a bit more supplies, let's mess with these guys too. How are we doing? Get pushed in. We're looking in here. Okay, these guys looks like they all in bad shape. Let's do there again. Losing. Come on, do better, Maximilian von Welch. Okay, Nibelungen factory works very good. But my real motives, of course, are just to get you guys fun games. I have the addiction. I want to feed the addiction to you guys for wargaming and whatnot. Okay, division training time increased, but production efficiency growth, factory output, factory repair speed. That's all nice. We got enough oil right now, or fuel right now. As we can see, we're actually increasing fuel reserves, though we could, of course, burn up even more in using fleets and whatnot with fuel, but Permanent supply lines. Okay, Soviet Union at war. Which grants consumer goods plus 2% planning speed down. Railway construction speed 15%. Loot force 1. Greater winter equipment production. I don't know that we need that. Learn from the Soviets. Western knowledge. Research speed. Just looking around here. Not really using Romania to its. I think we're going to do permanent supply lines. Speeds, fortified cities. As railway artillery. We don't have railway artillery. But we're behind. Let's do that. Hello, Starstreak. I'm doing well. Far left Soviet infrastructure. Okay. We could probably change this. I know that I've done, okay, we've done this one. We could have done 35 days. Kiev, rail infrastructure. Well, yeah, that may be because that's just 35. I think this is like 99 days. I hope I can cancel. Some of these are uncancelable. I don't know about this one. Well, 48 days. We'll let this finish. It's just 48 days, and then we'll do the other one. And here we go. Not quite universal, but everything but naval. Not that we have zero population problems, but we have much more of an equipment problem than we do population. You know, for factories, or those. How's your medical yet? No. En route, another 8 days. That's a bad attack, but we're just delaying any movement north. And more factories coming online here, or yeah, that's sort of what's happening. Don't know how useful this will be, but we're going to continue its instruction for now. Okay, we've doubled the amount of factories building trains. Well, let's just build or put. Oh, I know I stopped it earlier because I didn't think I was going to need any more of it. But again, I'm learning. Cavalry equipment. There we go. Portable fuel cans. Very good. And that was this one, which fuel capacity is up. Sort of like FM radio. We'll do that. Hey, folk! Better to relocate forts based on supplies, letting lack of troops attrition. Yes, yes. Serious as those is Hamas. Right. Yeah. Well, we've definitely increased our supply capabilities. You weren't here earlier today, I don't think, unless you were a bit silent. So we're trying some new offensive based on having some of those supplies, particularly. This is just a delaying attack here until we can get up. More reinforcements moving up there. Bring them off fairly well. Okay, new Heinkels have been designed. Let's go to 42. So, we just got these. Yes, we'll do that, and we now have more capabilities. Okay. I am slightly worried about my attrition rates of ships, so we are increasing ship production capabilities. And it was the HE-111s that got updated. Are we producing older ones? Probably. Yeah, let's go with I'll get rid of that. Okay. Okay, so we've got here, we are now having a bit of a supply problem, yes, but not as bad as it used to be. That province, or a couple of others, but that we need to take. Oh, they pushed us out of here finally. Okay, well, yeah. I guess that's just a little too far for us. Okay, you guys move there to sort of hold that line. While you still have some supplies. Mexico. Uh-oh, Mexico's in the war. Mexico joins the Allies, yay! Well, you attack there. And if we have to push out here, that's fine. Come on, Guderian, you can do. You got this. You're Guderian. Okay, gamer, could you not benefit from some battle plans? Yeah, it might. It might be a better idea to. No, I'm focusing too much in on one part of the front here, but still. Okay. See, we're just outside of Moscow here. Let's threaten Moscow some, shall we? Andrei Vasilov. Vasov? I don't know. These names, not enough vowels in the right spots. What's he famous for? What's he famous for? Can anybody in chat now or later on, you know, when it's posted on an episode, say what Vasilov is famous for? But at that point, we will end this episode. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. See you around next time for more, yes, even more Hearts of Iron.